After a dramatic win at the Emirates Stadium as Arsenal smashed 3 past Southampton, the international break might be here, but we've got a lot to break down. So today we'll discuss Arsenal's latest evolution in their attack, the transformation of Kai Havertz and Bukayo Saka, Mikel Arteta's brand new left-hand side and the impact of Mikel Merino, as well as a very important update on Man City and their battle against the Premier League. Yo, what is going on guys? My name is Baz14, welcome back to Boys Channel, and after such a good victory at the Emirates Stadium that ended up being so satisfying, you know what, the shades are even coming off right now. So, smash a like on the video if you enjoy it and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Let's start to go off with Arsenal's 3-1 victory over Southampton. In a game where Mikel Arteta made some heavy rotations, in came Gabriel Jesus, Raheem Sterling and Jorginho. It's the Brazilian that want to focus on right from the get-go. In what was his first league start of the season, a lot of Arsenal fans weren't that impressed. In a game that he dropped a 7.3 rating, 60 minutes, not a single shot on target, 9 accurate passes, 3 key passes and 1 big chance created. His numbers were decent, but his performance wasn't at that same calibre. Having arrived at Arsenal with such a high standard, the Jesus of 22-23, someone the streets will never forget, and an Arsenal team that was all about causing chaos, Jesus was thriving. But now that we've evolved into a more structured side, an attack that has a lot more balance and is a lot more rigid, alongside injuries to Gabriel Jesus that has definitely affected his physicality, Arsenal have evolved past the player. From taking too many touches to being indecisive on the ball. There's a reason why he's been displaced by Kai Havertz on his Arsenal side, who despite signing a year after, has already overtaken Jesus' Arsenal goal tally. So for a player that Arsenal rejected a chance to sell this summer, with reports claiming that Palmeiras made an offer, the issue isn't that Jesus isn't still a useful player. Off the bench, able to play as a left winger, right winger and down the middle. The versatility is very important, but not when you're paying him £265,000 a week. Starting wages for a player that's become a squad one, Arsenal might have a decision to make this summer, especially when we look at Raheem Sterling. Having also made his first Arsenal League start, in 60 minutes we saw a 6.9 rating, 14 accurate passes and 1 key pass, 4 out of 5 dribbles and 1 big chance missed. And an Arsenal side that has so much natural chemistry, Raheem Sterling will take time to adapt. But when we focus on the player himself and what he offers Arsenal, that same level of Gabriel Jesus-like versatility, even more Premier League experience, and a true character behind the scenes. This is simply a prediction, but I believe come the end of the season, if Sterling is able to fully adapt to his Arsenal side, he could become a squad alternative to Gabriel Jesus. But in the starting 11 itself, the player we need to focus on is Kai Havertz. A player that Mikel Arteta once said he's a player who needs a lot of love, he needs to feel protected, he needs to feel chemistry around him. He's one of the most likable guys I've met in my life. With love and appreciation, Cobra Kai has finally found a home. Having now scored in 7 consecutive Emirates games this season, he becomes the only Arsenal player alongside Robin van Persie to have matched that feat. The same player that he was compared to when he signed for Arsenal. The finish itself was RVPS. The ball striking of a top striker that we've not seen from Havertz. Overall, it was a very impactful performance. A 7.9 rating, 2 shots on target, 4 off target, 2 successful dribbles and 27 accurate passes. Dominant in the air with 4 ground balls won. The standout thing was how he reacted after Arsenal conceded. 1-0 down at the Emirates Stadium, fans starting to panic. The hunger in Havertz's game was there to be seen. Demanding the ball and trying to make things happen. The way that he struck that ball was a sign of evolution. No longer the same Havertz that was scared to try things, he now feels at home, comfortable enough to go and take action and take risks. A year ago, it was a pity penalty against Bournemouth. A year later, he's one of Arsenal's most important players. As hard working as it gets, look at him in the 94th minute. Arsenal 3-1 up, but Havertz is still chasing the ball down, having now got 19 non-penalty goals and assists in 2024, as Arsenal starting main forward. That's exact same as Erling Haaland. A rising star and an Arsenal team full of stars, let's talk about the star boy turned star man, as Bukayo Saka became the 5th winger in Premier League history to have scored or assisted 90 plus goals at 23 years of age, now only behind Ryan Giggs, Raheem Sterling and Cristiano Ronaldo. It was a monstrous performance and 9.9 rating, 1 goal, 2 assists, 7 key passes and 3 big chances created. Taking more responsibility than ever before, he has now become our creative hub. Stepping up in the absence of Martin Odegaard and becoming our focal point in terms of chance creation. He has now created 13 big chances in the league this season, 6 more than any other player, a 9.4 rating backed up by a 9.9. It's not the fact that he's thriving without Martin Odegaard, but it's the fact that he's taking more responsibility, making things happen and breaking teams down. For all the talk about him stat padding from set pieces, even if you take away his set piece assist, he still has the most in the league. With 7 in 7 this season, he is now 13 off the Premier League record, equal of Kevin De Bruyne and Thierry Henry at 20. As Mikel Arteta says, don't forget about Bukayo Saka's age. There are stats that you cannot get away from, that what he's doing at his age is unbelievable. Ranking 1st in the league for assists and chances created, 2nd from open play, 1st for big chances and 1st for expected assist. There's always talk about who is Arsenal's Kevin De Bruyne. a player to turn games and provide moments. Our Martin Odegaard's profile always gets put in the same category. I actually believe he's far more of a natural number 8, someone to control tempo, get himself on the ball. The final action player is actually Bukayo Saka, the prime example being his assist to Gabriel Martinelli. With the score locked at 1-1, the moment was provided. And wasn't it just good to see our star boys connect once again? The Saka-Nelly partnership is something that's been trademarked since 2019-20. Boys that we've seen become into men. For Martinelli, he now has back-to-back goals in league games. On the left-hand side, he now has movement and stability, and it's no surprise that he's thriving. Calafrio not scared to invert and making underlapping runs. Left-hand side seems more balanced than ever before. Natural fluidity and rotations. The Italian stallion dropped a 7.4 rating himself, winning a whopping 8 out of 11 ground balls, while also completing a whopping 3 out of 3 dribbles. For a player that's only 22 years of age, I think fans sometimes forget, he is still one of our youngest players in the squad, only older than the likes of Wanyeri and Miles Skelly. But the real thing that I want to focus on, the thing that's making Arsenal that much more scarier, is the impact of Mikel Merino. Coming off the bench with the score locked at 1-1 and playing 29 minutes, 10 accurate passes, 1 key pass, 4 out of 4 ground balls. The defensive numbers are there to be seen straight away. 2 block shots, 2 interceptions and 3 tackles. In a matter of only 55 minutes of Arsenal football, Merino has already made 6 tackles. The reason why he's making Arsenal scary is because of what he offers off and on the ball. In an Arsenal side known as one of the best out of possession in all of Europe, to add another elite duel winner who's so aggressive off the ball, not scared to command his players already despite being a newcomer, shouting at players to tell them where to be. In the final third, he's also offering Arsenal another box presence. The example being Martinelli's goal. Look at Merino pointing towards Martinelli to come inwards, just moments before he goes and scores his goal. Man City might have Erling Haaland, Liverpool have Mo Salah, but what makes Arsenal different is the fact that we're so balanced. When you now have a left-hand side that is more functional than ever before, a right-hand side still thriving with Ben White and Martin Odegaard, Arsenal have become that much more unpredictable. Teams don't know who to mark because we can go at any angle. With 18 different goal scorers in the league last season, the most out of any club, once fully fit and embedded, Mikel Merino and Ricardo Calafrio will take Arsenal to another level. Moving on to the latest Arsenal news. After a very intense few weeks of some massive games, Arsenal fans now have a little bit of time to relax during the boringest time of the season, the international break. With key players like Saka, Rice and Calafrio all going. One player that isn't is Thomas Partey, whereas Charles Watt confirms is staying with Arsenal during this international break, as he understands he's been suffering with a little bit of an illness and not an injury. So it has been agreed that he should rest up for a bit after playing so many minutes this season. It's purely precaution. Starting as he inverted right back against Southampton and dropping a 7.7 rating. Partey's numbers themselves were very decent. 5 ground balls won, 95% of his passes completed and 3 accurate long balls. In a fluid Arsenal build-up, having a midfield player right back actually works pretty well, because Partey is comfortable in many zones on the ball. The issue for me is the big spaces though. Clearly not the player off the ball as he was a couple years ago. When asked to defend big spaces, Partey could be in trouble. It's not a long-term solution, it's only temporary. With Ben White set to return to full fitness and Yuri Timber also not going on international duties, Arsenal have a chance to rest up their right backs. And talking of rest, you're also going to have a bit for Kai Havertz. He was a part of the Germany squad for the international break, but it's now been officially confirmed that Havertz has been taken out for the games against Bosnia and Netherlands with a knee problem. He will be assessed by the Arsenal staff in the next few days and won't travel with the national team. Cue the Arsenal fans starting to panic, but at the same time we've got a very positive update provided by Sami Mikel. Says Havertz's knee complaint is not thought to be serious. News that will ease any concerns of any long-term layoff. Arsenal are learning from Martin Odegaard. Having lost their captain on the last international break, there was no chance that Mikel Arteta was going to take more risks. But one player that is going on international duties is William Saliba, seen arriving from France at Clairefontaine. In a world where he has now established himself as one of the best centre-backs in the world, in a truly dominant partnership alongside Gabriel Magalhaes, Antonio Rudiger of Real Madrid has given him his flowers. When asked on the best defenders in the game right now, Rudiger says you have Gabriel, the most aggressive leader, then Saliba, this brother that plays clean. It's always nice to hear compliments, but when it comes to Real Madrid, Rudiger was also asked if you could sign one centre-back, who would it be? He replied with Saliba. I'm not trying to give Florentino Perez any sort of ideas, their team was already stacked as it gets. As Fabrizio Romano confirmed, Saliba has never considered leaving Arsenal. His life at Arsenal is fantastic, he's very happy with the club, the league and the city. He's very happy with the manager and the project. He can see the ambition and how important he is. A part of an Arsenal side trying to make their history, bring Arsenal their first league title in over 20 years. In terms of the team standing in a way, Manchester City, after a 3-2 victory against Fulham, they remain ahead of Arsenal on goal difference. But the game itself wasn't that simple, with Fulham missing many chances. In terms of the XG, they actually had a 2.36, as City got away with the Adama Traore disaster class. That's now 4 XG conceded in Man City's last 2 games, making it the first time since the start of 2022-23, where City have lost an XG in back-to-back games. But behind the scenes, what's happening in terms of their court case? In a battle against the Premier League, and they won 115 charges. The statement confirms they have got a win over the Premier League, after governing commercial deals between the clubs related to companies were declared unlawful. That's 1 charge out of 114 won. While a lot of City fans are celebrating, I'm not falling for the PR. A look into the article itself shows a lot of charges are still standing, with City still having a lot of charges to beat. According to the Mill, these are the clubs that have given evidence in favour of the Premier League against Man City, with Arsenal, United, Liverpool, West Ham, Brentford, Bournemouth, Fulham and Wolves, all clubs involved. It just goes to show how Man City are perceived in this league. A lot of the top clubs know about their cheating, and they're trying their best to get a punishment. But at the same time, does it not look a little bit dodgy? When you've got your own league against you trying to fight you, City trying to claim that they weren't financially doping. We don't know what's going to happen next, but punishment seems to be eventually inevitable. For Arsenal, their focus has to remain on themselves though, with their win against Southampton being their 400th home league win in the Premier League, becoming only the second side to reach that milestone after Manchester United. Arsenal have now gone 10 games unbeaten this season, with 7 wins and 3 draws. Apart from the results against Man City away, if it wasn't for the red card against Brighton, we could have easily been top of the league. That is without our starting captain Martin Odegaard, Ben White not even available, where in previous years Mikel has always been criticised for his adaptation. This year Arsenal have evolved to find a different way, leading the league in terms of XG for and against when playing with 11 men. Seconds away from 3 points at the Etihad, I'm seeing a lot of positive signs. An Arsenal team passing test after test, showing real maturity and a way of always getting results. After the international break, we're going to have Bournemouth away, Shakhtar at home, Liverpool at home, Preston away, Newcastle away and Inter Milan away. Tough games are coming, but having seen our recent results, the fact that we've got 3 of our toughest away games out of the way, with 7 points out of a possible 9, confidence is definitely growing around the Emirates Stadium that this could be the year. And the star boy Bukayo Saka believes similar. Speaking to his Arsenal teammates at his birthday party, reportedly he said, "I spend every day with you guys, sometimes a bit too much time, but honestly I love you all and appreciate you for coming. This year I really believe we are going to win the league." But that is the video there and then. If you have enjoyed, don't forget to smash a like and also subscribe to the channel if you are new. If you want to follow your boy on all of his social medias, then the links are down below in the description. But that was all of your latest Arsenal news today. Out of a very boring international break, hopefully we have a bit of Arsenal news, not regarding injuries. So my friends, touch wood as always, fingers crossed, and I'll see you soon. Take care and a bit.